Sotu 16.
Episode 16 with Pete Garden.
And Jason Hyam right here.
All kinds of things happening at the moment, Pete, heading towards finals. So getting super exciting in those contestable positions, sort of 4 and 5 for the juniors and 5 and 6 for the seniors. Mm-hmm. All getting there. So what do we got?
It's really gearing up. Yeah, let's jump into the ladders. Let's swipe them across.
Bring them on.
All right. So in the under 12s here, the contestable spots. So we might look at the top 4 now because it's top 4 that's going to play off in junior.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So Adelaide University and Burnside, who are sitting in that 4th and 5th spot now. So Old Coles, Brighton, Onkers, pretty secure in that top 3. They might shuffle around in the last couple of rounds.
Nobody's going to be able to take them out of there, though. Yeah.
But that Adelaide University Burnside has got the opportunity for Burnside to potentially knock off Uni in the 12th competition, right? Depending on what happens in the last couple of rounds. Onto the 4 teams. Again, Brighton secure at the top there. They've had 12 wins from 12 games.
Yeah. 12 bonus point wins.
All the way
through.
So very strong there. But in the under 14s competition, that top 4 is pretty much sewn up now already for them in competing in finals. So the trick now will be in what position will they?
Who ends up in what area? Okay, cool.
Correct. In the 16s, Brighton, again, pretty secure on the top there, but 2nd and 3rd spot, maybe some jumbling around that can do there, and then even into 4th and 5th, right? So Barossa's on 44, with Old Coles on 42, and those 2 teams in the under 16s will actually play each other in round 15 as well. So depending on results from round 14, and then they'll come head-to-head in round 15.
Oh, right, and then that'll decide as to who goes through. That's exciting.
Could be very close for them.
Very exciting, yeah.
Which is great for the 16s competition. It's good to see some competitiveness that's in there. And then for the 18s as well, again, Brighton pretty secure on the top there, with Barossa in 2nd spot for the 18s, with then Souths and Burnside in 3rd and 4th spot. But again, Onkaparinga and Burnside will be battling off. They'll play each other again in round 15.
Excellent.
But then,
so that'll be pretty much that decider, won't it?
Correct, yeah, probably will be, depending on what their results are in the last, in this weekend.
This upcoming weekend, yeah.
Round 14, which is great to see. Onto the 3rd grade ladder. So Onkers stamping their spot up there, with Old Collegians in 2nd spot, but Old Coles still have a game up their sleeve, so Onkers will still have a bye that's coming up for them.
Oh, right, okay.
So Old Coles will still have a game there, so they could end up in the minor premiers position for 3rd grade, but all 3rd grade, given our final structure this year, will be playing off in finals.
All right.
For the women, again, top 5 into the women. So Adelaide University dominant, as we know, have been very strong.
Very much so.
There this year. With Southern Suburbs is the real contenders, I think. They're
only 4 points behind there, as we say. They're going to play each other in the next 2 weeks. So minor premiership up for grabs.
Yeah.
Really exciting. Yeah. Round 15 is it? So that's
round 15 is the one.
Right at the end, they're going to decide who takes that one out. So that's exciting.
And then, Burnside and Woodville and Brighton topping out the top 5 at the moment. But again, Brighton and Onkers will be battling off. There's only 3 competition points in between them, so they'll be looking to try and get into that 5. And I know, so I think in this round, Brighton and Woodville are playing, and then Brighton will play against Elizabeth in round 15. And then for Onkaparinga for the last 2 rounds have Barossa and Elizabeth. So could be an upset potentially in there, and a switch in that 5th, 6th spot.
You never know. Rugby's a funny game, isn't it? The ball can bounce all over the place, and suddenly you're in trouble. So
yeah, exactly. Onto reserve grade, Old Collegians taking out 13 wins from 13 matches there. As we step down, Brighton, Onkers, South, and Burnside, and that'll round out the reserve grade. So reserve grade 1. So for finals, the reserve grade and premier grade for the senior men's there will split for the finals competition.
All right.
So the top 5 will play off in some finals over 4 weeks, and then the bottom 5 there for the reserve grade. So that's how reserve grade's looking, and that looks pretty secure so far, leading into finals. And then on to premier grade, Brighton sitting in the top spot there, with Old Coles, only just behind. There's potential for them to maybe even take out minor prems, and Burnside not far off either. Onkaparinga, and then Southern Suburbs rounding out that top 5 at the moment, with then Port in the 6th spot just now. But as we talked about before, Porter are playing against Onkers this weekend at
All right.
home.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Barossa the weekend after. And South will be playing Old Collegians in Burnside over the next couple of weeks. So there's potential, I mean, with the right bounce of the ball, and if there's a couple of wins and a couple of losses there, that might even change that.
Absolutely. Souths come away with no points in 2 weeks, and Port Adelaide pick up some bonus point wins. Anything's possible there in that draw, isn't it? So, I mean, there's only, 7 points in it there. So, you had 2 wins versus,
that's
just
right.
A single win does make a difference, doesn't it?
So, look, still some exciting rugby and things, and people battling off for those minor premiers and getting into their finals contentions as we head into it. But if we look at round 14, Old Collegians are hosting Brighton. That's the live stream match.
That'll be good.
It'll be the first grade men's match there, down at Tregenza. And they're hosting Brighton down to the under 16s, and then they've got Woodville from the under 14s down into this weekend. Souths are hosting Burnside for all their senior matches, and then they've got Onkers for all of their juniors, so from 18s down. And then Port in the seniors are hosting Onkaparinga down in Port Adelaide there. University and Woodville, so with Uni hosting Woodies there, they've got Uni against Barossa in the 16s, and then Brighton for the rest of their juniors. So this is to try and flatten out the number of games that everybody's got with each other, number of buys and all those sorts of things. So that's why there's a bit of movement.
Absolutely,
in this round.
yeah.
And then the last one there's Lizzie Barossa hosting at Lizzie. The Swarm, I think, are playing Burnside, and the women's Lizzie women's are playing Brighton.
Oh, right.
By the looks of it. But,
and then there's also another women's game at Lizzie as well. I think two of the other women's teams are playing at Lizzie too.
Yeah,
well,
correct. Yeah, so there'll be, as we've got it structured at the moment, there'll be 2 women's matches at 12:40 at Elizabeth there, and I think planning on having their ladies' day there as well. Which,
ladies' day with all the ladies out there on Saturday. So really good
so
timing for
that.
Really good.
Rugby.
It's gonna be a good one.
Awesome, mate. So look, we had some Ask Rooster questions as well. Come in.
Hashtag Ask Rooster. Don't forget to send in your questions every Monday.
And so we had 5 that have come through for us this week.
Let's have a look. I'll get them fired up on my phone.
Yours
you
as well.
Can read the.
How far do you need to zoom, mate?
I may not have my glasses with me today.
Yeah,
all right.
right.
That's what I'm saying. I get new glasses on Sunday. Very exciting.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So would it be possible for an off-season state training program for state players to keep playing? That's from Nady 8 Russ.
All right, so Nathan, I think that's Nathan Russell. But so Nate, yes, we've got the TDT for the younger juniors. So
TDT
that's the Talent Development Training Program. So that's for all our under 12 regionals, and our under 14 state players are invited to that over summer.
Yep.
We're going to structure that slightly differently this year, where we'll still have the opportunity to go to the gym and do some body weight. All their exercises are body weight. So they're going to the gym with the University of South Australia sports scientists.
Great.
So they go in there and do all their stuff with them, and they set up their training programs and whatnot, and we do all kinds of fun testing and things with timing gates and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, great.
So that's really cool, and then they get training programs, but this year we're going to add a lot more rugby specific stuff in the off season. So we'll be doing things like rugby training stuff, as well as playing some off season games, maybe some touch sevens and things like that, which we'll incorporate into that setup. So that'll be
awesome. And how long does that program run for usually?
So that runs through the summer. That'll be from normally we start in October, and that'll run to early February. So we'll finish up just before Beach Sevens. Start. Beach Fives, just before Beach Five starts, so we'll get that one done.
Awesome.
So yes, there's that opportunity for the juniors, and then the older players. We're going to expand our academy in 2020. Feel like it's been fairly successful this year, and we've seen some real player development.
Great.
So expanding our academy in 2020 to incorporate a number of the under 16 and under 18 players. And that'll start in November. So really looking forward to growing those programs. So yes, off-season training programs definitely available, and information for that will come out post-season. So everybody will, obviously we're focused on finals and whatnot now. And then post-finals we'll go into that stuff. So
wonderful. All right, Angus Chave asking how the schools finals are set out.
All right.
So I've got quickly the schools ladders as well, which I'll send to these lovely gentlemen for post-production. But we might swipe them on.
Oh, bring them on. Next one. All right.
So looking at these, in terms of the under 14, so how finals are set out is basically schools play over a 10 rounds. 10
All right.
rounds.
Yep.
And then top two play off in a grand final.
Oh, okay.
In the 11th week.
All right.
It's a very, very simple final structure. But looking at the 14s ladder here, we can see that the top two are pretty much cemented now after the 10 rounds. So in 14's Pembroke and the South East Harlequins team.
All right.
Will be playing off for the 14's grand final. So this week now, and in fact by the time this webcast comes out, round 10 will have occurred for the schools.
Oh, so these games that we're talking about now would have played and would be waiting for grand final next week.
The grand finals will be next week. So if you want to watch some grand final schools rugby, immediately following this webcast, it'll be next week on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons. So in the 14s, as I said, Pembroke and the SE Quins, South East Harlequins. In the 16s, if you have a look at the ladder there, it's St. Peter's College and Pembroke who'll be playing in that grand final. And then for the 18s will be Prince Alfred College versus St. Peter's.
Okay.
The 18s game.
All right.
So yeah, some good schools footy there, and it's good to see a healthy little competition that's happening there. If there's any other schools or you know of any other schools that would like to get involved, by all means, we can put you in touch with the South Australian Schools Rugby Union, and we can help support that as well.
Absolutely, facilitate schools getting involved.
Yeah.
More people playing rugby, the better.
Absolutely. All right. So from Jamery Hughes. Asking, how do I start coaching?
How do I start coaching? So that's quite an easy
that's
one.
a you question,
That's
mate.
a me question. That's pretty simple. In order to coach, there's two things that you need. You need a smart rugby. Obviously, that's a rugby safety course to make sure that you're doing everything in a safe environment for young players. And then if you are coaching juniors, you need to have I forget, it's a DHS, is it now?
Yeah, so it's
Used to be called the DCSI.
Yeah, so it's more commonly known as a working with children's check.
Okay. All right. So that's it. So that's really important if you're going to be working with the youngsters. That's the two things you need to have to get started.
Yep. And even if you are a youngster, so let's say you're 17 and wanting to start coaching, you still need to have that working with children's check if you're coaching in the junior grades as well.
Cool. Yep. Awesome. So that's really important to understand that as soon as you're coaching juniors, you need to have that.
Yep.
And then you can start learning from those senior coaches in that environment, and start putting your own ideas together and starting to grow your coaching prowess. After that, then there's opportunities for you to further your knowledge and growth as a coach through a number of different coaching opportunities. We run coaching courses through Rugby Union South Australia. We run Rugby Australia accredited courses and World Rugby accredited courses. So we start with a coaching kids rugby.
Yep.
So that would be focused on coaches from under 6s to under 12s. Then we've got foundation course, which is very much a basics course around set plays and set phases and bits and pieces around coaching in the right environment.
Yeah.
So that's aimed mainly at under 12s to under 18s, although first time we advise any first time coach to go through the foundation course, which then you follow up with some online stuff and you become a level 1 coach.
Yep.
And then after that, there's opportunity to step up, and we encourage anybody who's coaching senior or under 18s and above to do a DCC, which is a developing coaches course.
Yep.
And that's a 2.5 day course, which is really great. That's about how you coach, your approach to coaching, and a lot more insight into bits and pieces around the field. And then after that, there's some online stuff and some online learning and law exams and things like that. And then you can become a level 2 coach. So that's the process from community coaching.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got level 3 and level 4, but those are by invitation and aimed primarily at senior representative coaches and professional coaches. So not really necessary or even promoted for community level coaching. What we do is we've got a number of other avenues for community coaches who are level 2s to be able to get more input. Things like the Wallaby Coaches Seminars and those kinds of things, which are free
Yep.
for access to coaches who are at that level. So if you have a level 2 and you're interested in going to something like that, they normally occur around end of year tour or mid-year tours while they're touring around the country. So opportunities there to go to those. Which are really exciting. So
if you want to get started though, it's Smart Rugby.
Smart Rugby.
If you're doing juniors, working with children's checks.
Absolutely. And then get involved with your club. So put your hand up and speak to your club secretary or whoever your director of coaching or director of rugby is at your club. Get involved and help out. The more coaches we can have, the better. Volunteer positions are difficult to fill at the best of times.
And it's interesting with coaching, and last thing I'll sort of mention on it, and it's been a learning for myself, is that you don't need to know everything to be a good coach. You'll have your players and things there, and a good coach is about getting the best from the players. So seeking the players' feedback, what are we doing, asking the right types of questions to get the results and have them come up with the answers. You don't need to tell your players everything that you're doing, which is
absolutely
it's coach methodology.
And absolutely, that methodology is so important. Being player centered rather than coach centered, about drawing that information and empowering your players, because then they can make those decisions on the field and they understand better.
But you start asking some of those questions, you get into that method earlier, and then you can develop from there.
Then that makes it a lot easier rather than changing things later on.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
absolutely.
cool. So, Blake N, will there be a regional competition for older age groups in future years? Well, your pathways as well, mate.
Oh, that's it, mate. So
So
I'll just keep going. I think that's Blake Nash. So Blakey, yes, I'd love to. That is a plan moving forward. Obviously, it depends on volunteers as well, and timing. So a big issue at the moment is timing. What ideally we'd like to do with our pathways next year is have regional competition early first, and then be able to, from there, select state teams to be able to go away. So that's a natural progression of, guys are playing club, then they'll go to regional, then they'll go to state.
Yep.
So that's the plan, is to do that for 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s. I'd love to. Our issue is time, resources, availability of resources, fields and things like that, but it is doable. It is in the planning. So hopefully, yes. Just depends on what time our state rep happens next year, so that we can fit it in, so that it makes sense with our program.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, great. And then Josh Enright is asking for the under-16s finals predictions.
Under 16s, anything predictions have been tough this year. That ladder's been up and down and round and about.
Looking at it, or going back to it, Brighton we're on top on 52 comp points at the moment. Burnside on 47. Both had the same number of wins, Brighton and Burnside. But then in third spot, Onkers is on 47 as well. Barossa's only on 44, and then Old Cole's not far behind on 42. So
that's
to back one in.
You're going to pick one? We've got to pick one.
Yeah,
we're going to pick one.
Well,
we'll roll the dice. We'll roll the dice.
You've been refereeing some.
I've been refereeing a lot of these games.
Yeah,
the
I'll
under
throw you
16s. It's tough. I know there's so many players in this age group. I know as soon as I pick one, I'm gonna. I'm gonna get someone else this weekend, and I'm gonna get it in the air from all of them. I think, to be honest with you, I think if Onkaparinga, if that team can hold on to the ball, they're incredibly dangerous, and their defensive cohesion is fantastic. Yeah. So I'm gonna go the Onkers boys for the under 16s.
All right.
There we go. That's a bold statement. Not that nobody else is going. I do appreciate all the other players, but I just think that Onkers they're really together as a team at the moment. So that's I'm going to go with them.
Wonderful. There you go.
Oh, come on. You can't just leave me out there, mate. You got to pick one. Come on.
Hung up to dry, mate. Hey, on he goes. Sailing him off down the river.
Like Biltong.
Look, I am going to... Look, I'm just going to back. I'm going to back the dark horse, Old Collegian, sitting in fifth spot. They're outside of contention at the moment. If nothing gets you up for a couple of games of rugby, then being that close then nothing will. So
that's fair call. I like that.
Back old coals to push back through.
Perfect. We're gonna have to track this over the next couple of weeks, I think, to see how our predictions go and see how we're doing. That'll be good.
Good stuff. All right. Well, the only other thing I think to cover off on was a little bit of Rooster community. The old hashtag Rooster community.
Awesome Rooster community. Our photos out there and videos, anything you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of the videos, some of the photos that came through this week were with Elizabeth and Woodville women's match, which is great to see. So there's a few of those photos sliding up there.
Yeah.
Great to see good competition and healthy happening out there.
It was great. It was a great day out there. Actually, we had the under-14s playing after the Premier grade.
Yep.
So that was fantastic. The crowd stuck around. Everybody stuck around for the 14s, and it was just such a great environment for that game. To have the little guys running around under the lights, and you'd swear it was a grand final. How excited they were out there. So
good.
That was a great environment. So thank you to the two clubs for putting that together and creating that experience for the youngsters.
Wonderful.
But yeah, Rooster community. I think there was something else about the young Shylah Potter got
a bunch 50.
Got a bunch of. She was Shylah was
first junior girl to get 50 at Woodville.
Yes,
I think.
Yes,
yeah.
and she was the young lady who went Instagram famous.
Yeah,
I think was it last year or the year before?
I think it was last year.
For making a
third tackle there.
Making a tackle on someone about 7 times her size.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Always a pleasure to see Shylah out there getting stuck in. So congratulations to you. But yeah, if anything else out there in the community is happening, let's we want to hear about it. We want to let everybody know about it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
hashtag Rooster community, let us know, and we can get it out there, and we can celebrate all the little wins that we get out there on the park. So that'll be good.
Who was South Africa playing this weekend?
South Africa got Argentina. In Argentina. So that's gonna
Los
be
Puma.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
What about Bledisloe?
And then Bledisloe.
The big one.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's hotting up,
isn't it? No, I sent you that meme.
The photo,
the photo, so we can upload that photo.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about how the Wallabies get one over the All Blacks every World Cup year. So in Perth, at home. Perth's a long way from New Zealand.
The All Blacks have lost to the Wallabies in every World Cup year in the professional era.
So this is it.
The Wallabies got to hang their hat on something, right? Against the All Blacks.
There's an option, and you get the feeling the All Blacks. I'm going to start calling them the All Blacks. The All Blacks are off the boil a little bit this year. So hopefully, if the Wallabies can get one over them, we can put a dent in some confidence there, and hopefully make them wobble a bit through the World Cup. That'd be
sold out there over at Perth. It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I'm actually
love a sold-out game.
Yeah.
I know that Carl and Lisa are both going to it,
Yes,
so we'll be... we'll just be jealous over here in Adelaide, but that's okay. Those of you who are going over there, enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you're getting your gold jerseys on, and giving the guys a shout.
Yeah, so snap out a little bit of Rooster community.
Oh, definitely. Get some Rooster community shots over there on the as we're gold-blooded for the Wallabies this weekend. So hopefully we can get one over the All Blacks. It'll be a cracker.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Well, enjoy yourselves this weekend.
Good luck to everybody for all of your games. Good luck to the Wallabies as we're all gold-blooded in Australia, and have a good one.
See you later.